Successfully overcoming any kind of challenges gives all of us immense satisfaction. Same occurred to us as well after satisfyingly completing the roundabout trip to Upper Mustang. Though conquering the daunting terrain of Upper Mustang gave us monumental contentment, but truly speaking took a lot from us too. During the initial planning stage of our Nepal trip, we planned to continue to Offbeaterz National Park after completing our Lomantang drive, but frankly saying, we couldn't fathom the amount of strain Upper Mustang will demand. Otherwise, it wouldn't have taken us 2 nights halt at Pokhara to regain our lost enthusiasm. And when it occurred to us that it will take more than 12 hours to cover 470 kilometers from Pokhara to reach Offbeaterz National Park, which lies at the western edge of Nepal, it was well understood that the condition of road isn't exactly welcoming. Secondly and most importantly, while returning back home, we have to drive 600 kilometers approximately to cross the Indo-Nepal border town of Roxel. That will take 15 hours and that too excluding the stopover time. We decided a no-go.
But we have to get out of the hangover of Upper Mustang. The entire journey through those captivating landscape and diverse terrain seemed to have a deep impact on our souls. Spellbinding mesmerism of Himalayas, we suppose. Hence, we decided to put our steps into Chitwan National Park, which in one hand is just 150 kilometers away from Pokhara, and on the other hand it will be a slight detour on our way back home to Calcutta. But one thing we must admit, after driving through treacherous off-road or on-road conditions for last 8 days, the road to Chitwan turned heavenly, especially after crossing Mugling and turning towards Bharatpur on Narayanghat Mungling highway. The road following the downstream Trishuli river that meets Seti Gandaki river few kilometers ahead of Mugling was as marvelous as it could be. We continued gliding through the winding black tarmac until we turned left towards Bharatpur, from where the east-west highway kept traversing through dense greenery. The final turning points towards sauraha indicated that we were almost there. Park Safari Resort, which is our final stopover for the day, is merely 15 minutes drive from here.
Park Safari Resort was a good choice made by us. It was quite a decent accommodation sufficiently equipped with all modern facilities. But the biggest attraction is its backyard where the meandering river Rapti flows in her own harmony. And just across the river lies a tract of grassland beyond which starts the game reserve of Chitwan National Park. It was pleasantly entertaining to sit and lens the feathery friends of the wild and few other inhabitants that thought of paying a visit as the sun started to sink beyond the distant horizon of darkening forest. As per a customized itinerary fixed by consulting the courteous general manager of the Park Safari Resort, next morning we headed for the Buri Rapti River canoe trail. It's approximately 2.5-kilometer trail that rides through dense forest on both sides, with innumerable feathery inhabitants leisurely taking strolls or chilling out at their own style. On the canoe in the water, when our guides warned us not to put our hands in the water as because of the semi-aquatic prehistoric reptiles resting underwater, we became intimidated. But soon our intimidation got blended into the pleasing chords created by the rhythm of flowing water accompanied by tweeting of countless feathery species. And we got really excited seeing these silent layers of water from such a short distance. However, our ride came to its end point and now the adrenal rush begins, walking the floors of Tikauli jungle. Before we even get started, both of our guides garnished our thrill by informing us about the presence of striped four-legged big cat. The elaboration of escaping a tiger by climbing any nearby tree though gave us the fill of thrill of this episode of adventure, but the entire story was hardly convincing to us. Maybe it's their marketing campaign that they apply to the tourists for the sake of creating excitement, or maybe they want the tourists to be on high alert on their senses. Whatever works. However, the walk began. Walking in any jungle itself is intoxicating. A lot of people say that all jungles are same, so what's the excitement? To those we would like to say that it's the excitement of anticipation of exploring unfamiliar trails. Especially the excitement doubles up with the freedom of wandering afoot. If a city is a known arena for its dwellers, then a jungle is an unfamiliar territory to humankind, that belongs to the inhabitants of the wild. The characteristics of vegetation and the variation of wildlife and feathery inhabitants differ from region to region. There lies the excitement for those who love to explore jungles. All of a sudden, our thrill multiplied when our guides drew our attention into the muddy soil ahead of our pathway. At first impression, it was unclear to us, but a minute look revealed a pug mark. Our guides identified it of a tiger. According to them, the pug mark was fresh enough and can be claimed of last night. But tiger at such close vicinity of human population? We are hardly a kilometer away from the point where we got off from our canoe. Though we are not such experts to question the integrity of our forest friends who are qualified enough to know this forest like the back of their palm, but still the question kept floating in our mind. However, with a hesitant mind, as soon as we proceeded further, the sudden, distant, alarming call of a deer not only caught our attention but alarmed our dubiousness. On high hopes to encounter some rare wildlife sighting, as we kept scanning the area, suddenly we spotted a movement on the opposite side of the swamp. A huge wild boar busy finding food right across us. This is getting exciting more and more. Leaving it undisturbed, we continued our walk. But our guides kept a constant watch of the boar until we moved further to a safe distance.
It was inevitable to see some activity around the swamp. The rhino footprint proved us to be on the right track. Hoping to see some more in flesh other than a rhino beetle exploring the rhino droppings, we kept walking with high hopes. Our guide told us about another nearby water body that attracts animals to a great extent. We are headed that way only. Navigating through the thick forest growth with high hopes of sudden sightings kept us on alert. But other than handful signatures led by sloth bears, nothing as such came across us. Though luck seems to be on the other side of favoring us with sightings, we must admit that the serenity of this water body is fabulously alluring amid whistling and tweeting of innumerable feathery inhabitants.
All of a sudden, the experienced eyes of our guide found us a herd of spotted deer lazing around in an open grassland that lies behind the thicket, probably 100 meters away from us. Silently we stood there watching these vibrant animals lounging in their natural habitat. Though it seems that they are not so shy of human being, but as usual they are not letting their guard down. we kept proceeding further, the forest growth started to become denser. Though it is mid-November and our clock is showing 12 minutes past 10 a.m., yet the sun seems to be quite unmerciful upon us. As we all know that forests remain warmer than open areas, humidity started to take its toll upon our spirit. However, one sudden development recharged our diminishing energy. Our guide noticed a movement inside the undergrowth few hundred meters left of our trail. And to our sudden surprise, this massive one-horned rhino started to come out of the undergrowth. We stood absolutely still. Any abrupt movement can lead to a disastrous incident. As of now, keeping a safe distance is of utmost priority. Rhinos may not have good eyesight, but their senses of smell and hearing compensate their deficiency of vision. And if it feels threatened, it will turn out aggressive so instantaneously, which in the other word means nothing but death sentence for us. Our muted shutter helped us to record this magnificent animal silently, and we slowly withdrew ourselves back to our trail walk. Meanwhile, we could spot a greater racket-tailed drongo and a lesser yellow-napped woodpecker busy with their own self. Our trail started to lose direction and it became all about dodging thickets and making way through bushes and tree branches. Then came the biggest challenge of the day, crossing a 20 to 22 feet runnel balancing upon a giant fallen tree trunk, which at first seemed to be a cakewalk, but it isn't. The moss accumulated on this timber during monsoon haven't given up yet, thus walking while balancing oneself was one hell of a slippery task. And a fall of 15 feet into the muddy rivulet may not lead to a broken bone, but for sure will turn into one slimy affair. So, one step at a time landed us safely on the other side. Proceeding further, we noticed the heavy forest bed started to become thinner with prominence of grasslands, which denotes that we are nearing the edge of the forest. And finally, our trail walk is coming to an end. But when we thought it's almost over, a sudden find left us in awe. A surprise creation of Mother Nature we have never experienced before. The sighting of liana vine, a long-stemmed branch, is one such amazement. A woody vine rooted in the soil at the ground that uses trees around it to climb up to the canopy in search of direct sunlight. Amazing survival instinct.
See another one.
Our guide drew our attention towards a treetop where we spotted a collared falconet. He intimated us that this chap is a rare sighting in this area. Another 10 minutes walk reached us to a dedicated transportation that will take us to a hotel doorstep. For the last time, we absorbed what we could of the serenity of the Terai. Thus, the afternoon rolled into lazy evening and night thereafter. Next morning, we decided to take a stroll on the bank of Rapti river located right in front of our hotel. It is our last day in Nepal. A friendly four-legged companion was a welcoming incident as well. Suddenly, we noticed a rhino on the other bank. His half-tone ear was one characteristic we couldn't miss. Surely it is caused by some fight he picked up. He turned out to be quite camera friendly, and when he approached the edge of the river bank to check us out, we had ample opportunity to lens him quite peacefully. But when we thought that we were completely filled up with our experiences in Nepal, it proved us to be completely wrong. A territorial encounter between two rhino bulls is the last spectacular incident we expected to witness. Our super friendly torn ear turned out to be hostile and started to chase his opponent all of a sudden. At first, we were standing on the river bank and recording the entire incident. But all of a sudden, when we could sense that these two giants are headed exactly towards us, there was no other option other than running to the safety of our hotel boundary, from where we recorded this spectacular incident. Unbelievable.
Two weeks back, when we started this journey, our mind was filled up with so many speculations. But standing on the last day in Nepal, we are filled up with vivid experiences that we have always wished for. Bye bye, Nepal.